My name is John Koza and I'm the president of the Amnesty Society at Exeter University. I'd first like to say what a wonderful event this is and what a great initiative, and thank you to Ben and to everybody with the Young Citizens Academy. And as you can see, there's so many small intricacies, there's so much detail that's gone into this night. So yeah, maybe a round of applause for the people that have organised this. I don't know if I can see, is Sue out here? She's just outside. I got to know Sue only a few weeks ago actually. And ever since, my life in Exeter has certainly changed for the better. Getting to know her. Her story is incredible. And it's a testament to the work that Amnesty International does throughout the world. For those of you, I'm sure all of you here are aware of Amnesty International and the work that we do. Essentially, as our slogan says, we aim to protect the human. That is the essence of our organisation. And we do that by various means, mainly through petitioning, through fundraising and through raising awareness, kicking up dust, so to speak, about human rights abuses that go on throughout the world. Tonight is a celebration of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that was put through the United Nations in 1948. And since then, Amnesty has worked to highlight throughout the world where these human rights that we will take for granted have been violated to extremes in certain circumstances. So, as a society at the university, we tend to focus on, say, 3 or 4 campaigns per year. And we run on a 4-week system where we discuss a campaign and then we come up with an idea to try and raise awareness. The campaigns officer, James, wasn't able to make it this evening. He is the brain box of the organisation of our society. He loves the detail, and so unfortunately he wasn't able to make it. But in the same respect, my focus as the head of the society, and my focus, my sort of interest in Amnesty, and it always has been the fundamental, the core of the organisation, which is the human, which is us, and protecting the rights that we all should have as humans from birth until death. So, an example of some of our campaigns. We had a Support Syria campaign at the beginning of this year. I was actually in Syria 2 years ago on my year abroad because I study Arabic with business at the university. And it was incredible to see the changes. I'm sure a lot of you have seen in the news about what's going on in Syria at the moment. And it's just incredible to see how a country that seemingly, was ticking over, just like clockwork, suddenly, just like that, the Arab Spring I don't think anyone would have predicted it. I mean, even, the powers that be in the West were like, what's going on? But in this big kind of change that's going on, what we find is a lot of human rights violations that are being exposed that were already there, but weren't necessarily visible to the globally. And now with social media and with the news, it's plain to see what's happening. And this is where Amnesty International kind of intervenes, and we say, this is wrong, these actions are wrong, and we petition for it, and we lobby our own governments to make a difference, because we do have weight in the world as people. Our voices should get heard if there's enough of us, which is what we're seeing. We have our Afghanistan campaign as well at the moment. We've been petitioning, we did a petitioning session last week. If you want more details, then feel free to come. You can sign up a petition as well. It's focused on women's rights in Afghanistan at the moment. There's a new constitution going through, because obviously with the invasion of Afghanistan by Britain and the US, etc. they've decided now that they'll be leaving in 2014. In doing so, it's not perfect, let's put it that way, out there, to say the least. And as we've seen recently in the news, I don't know if any of you have heard, I'm sure you have heard, of Malala Yousafzai, the young girl who was shot by the Taliban for simply expressing her opinion that girls should be able to go to school and be educated. And the Taliban didn't like the sound of that, so she was attacked on her way, just traveling in Afghanistan. And there had been a string of attacks similar to that throughout the past few months. So Amnesty are now lobbying to our own government to say to this new constitution that's going on that women's rights should be at the core. Anyway, if you'd like more information, please feel free to come. I don't want to bore you and bring the tone down for the evening. Yeah, so I just thank you very much for the time to be able to
thank you.
Thank you. Jean-Paul, thank you very much. Next up, I'd like to invite two lovely ladies who have offered to sing for us tonight.